On Saturday, September 27th, I was part of the first TV news crew to ever kayak down a stretch of the Mahoning River, once considered among the most polluted streams in the United States. What I discovered is that the river, once a centerpiece of America's industrial might, is now being used for recreation.
All right, just drop it here.
Just drop it here?
Yeah.
Okay.
My trip down the Mahoning River began at the kayak launching dock at the B&O station adjacent to downtown Youngstown. I was joined by Christine and Gerald Gurite, father and daughter from Austintown, and April Sharilla of Warren, a co-worker of Christine's at Delphi in Michigan. Our guide was Chuck Miller.
Water is low and very forgiving today. The level's about 3 foot. It's recommended for beginners to go at this level.
Chuck Miller has made the 8-mile run to Lowville 100 times. We passed under the Spring Common Bridge, knowing it was my first trip down any river in a kayak. 10 minutes in, the first and toughest of 8 sets of rapids, the Marshall Street Dam. The dams were built by the steel industry to create pools of water, which was drawn, used, and returned, along with the chemicals used to make steel. But the pollution that once made the Mahoning River infamous is now out of sight.
But since the industry has gone away in the last 30 years, the river is actually cleaning itself up.
Hey, Chuck, what's this? This Market Street?
Yeah, that's correct.
The next 2 miles were mellow, an easy row along a tree-lined stream under clear blue skies. At times, you could see the river bottom, and occasionally the falling leaves dotted the surface. We drifted under the South Avenue Bridge, then the colors of autumn mixed among a leftover trestle. There was the Madison Avenue Expressway Bridge, along with moments of idle chatter.
Oh, that's what you were talking about with Chuck at the beginning. I got you.
We negotiated our way through a railroad bridge clogged with large dead trees before coming upon our second set of rapids, what Chuck Miller calls the wave train. What you don't see is my kayak tipping over, though you do see the aftermath, me in the river.
You all right?
The only thing bruised was my ego.
I had gone through right before you, and someone fell in before you, and I think that shook you a little bit, so you tried to avoid that. And as you did that, you stopped paddling so you wouldn't run into them, and your boat got turned sideways, and the rapids came and knocked you over.
I was able to stand up and pull the kayak to shore, and after bailing the water out, I got back in and was on my way. There was another set of what looked like old bridge trestles before passing under the Center Street Bridge, and the next set of rapids, the Center Street Dam. This time, I made it through safely. After passing under an active railroad bridge and through an area of fast water, we drifted along at a leisurely pace for 1.5 miles, past where Republic and Youngstown Sheet and Tube once made steel. Our next obstacle, the Struthers Dam. With concrete trestles protruding from the river and the dam clogged with trees and boulders, it can be a dangerous passage. The more experienced kayakers opted for the right side, where the gap is more narrow and the water faster. Having already taken one spill, I chose the easier left side. With the dam behind us, we passed from Struthers into Lowville, which included several sections of fast water. We saw our first signs of wildlife, a great blue heron tagged along for a while. We also passed an eagle's nest, and later the eagle. There was the water from the Struthers sewage treatment plant, another abandoned train trestle, an island of debris, and a building left over from the days of Sharon Steel. After negotiating the Lowville Dam, it was under the Lowville Bridge, through an old wooden dam, and up onto shore. 4.5 hours after starting, we were done.
It was a great time. It was a beautiful day and just the right amount of rough water.
This was good because it's the first time I was able to go beyond Struthers, and I got to go through the dam that's been taken out, and that was very fun.
Was this the perfect trip down the river today?
Pretty much. And I say it's good every time. Every time we come down here, we've been frequenting this section of the river all summer, and there has not been a bad trip. Mahoning River survivor. Yeah.
Well, during 33 News at 5:30, I interviewed retired Youngstown State environmental science professor Dr. Lauren Schrader, who's done extensive studies of the Mahoning River's quality. Dr. Schrader told me it's not as clean as it appears.
The water quality itself is pretty good. The heavy metals, the oils, the odors are all gone, but it still carries a load of bacteria that exceed the standards for contact with the river. The sediments are still highly polluted with heavy metals and chemicals that can cause cancer and other problems.
Dr. Schrader said he was okay with me kayaking the river, but to keep in mind that the bacteria level of the water is still high enough that it could transmit diseases.
Seek emergency shelter today. Become